Mr. Chairman, shareholder Craig Caulfield would like to ask a question. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Allaway. A hearty and warm welcome to Queensland.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for proactively meeting with myself and my colleagues this morning. I'd also like to welcome and thank George Frazis, the new CEO, for meeting with us. Mr. Frazis also met us at the House Economics Committee in Canberra proactively, and so we really appreciate that. My name's Craig Caulfield. I'm a founder of Bank Warriors, and I'm also an advisor to Bank Reform Now. Between our two groups, we have 14,000 members and followers. I have 2 points today. The first is that I'm here to support my comrade and my friend, Michael and Phyllis Sanderson. They've been treated disgracefully by the Bank of Queensland over many years. I raised their case without identifying them last year, and I'm really disappointed that in the 1 year Bank of Queensland hasn't proactively stepped in to manage that. Now, currently is with AFCA. You have offered to meet. I'll certainly be keeping an eye on it, and if it's not treated fairly, morally and ethically, I'll certainly be back next year. It has been treated legally, but I think we're now past minimum legal standards and we're looking for moral standards.
Craig, can I just stop and
Yes.
comment on that and maybe let you ask one more question after that?
Yes.
So we will deal with any personal matters. So if any shareholder or customer would like to raise a personal matter, I think it's best dealt with outside of the meeting. But I have met with Michael before the meeting. I understand that Michael has given George a brief. We will review that and we will respond accordingly. But thank you for raising that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And my second bit is that we've had 51 bank inquiries in recent years now. So surely with so many bank inquiries, something is still failing. Something is not gaining traction. I've got a range of recommendations, very briefly, to work cooperatively, authentically, transparently between Bank Warriors, Bank Reform Now and the board and the executives. And I'll just run through these at a clip and I'll leave them with you. One is acting as model litigant. Firstly, thank you to George, who at the House Economics Committee committed Bank of Queensland to act as model litigant. Would you please publish that to your website?
So Craig, can I just qualify that? We are acting as a model litigant for small and retail shareholders.
Yes.
And we are very supportive of that principle.
So that could be...
retail customers, sorry.
Or that scope or limitation could be included in publishing on the website.
Thank you.
Publishing your bear map, that's something that you've provided APRA. As customers, we get shuffled around. I'm not talking just Bank of Queensland, but all banks. It would be great to see a map. Now, whether that's the bear map or whether that's another map, some accountability. To ban political donations, perhaps include that in your constitution. Consider releasing the governance report. Here you could really show that Bank of Queensland, under your new leadership, is a leader. 3 of the 4 majors have released it. Publish the AFCA data cube, which compares Bank of Queensland with other banks. Add data on court proceedings, not individually identified, but simply the number of cases where Bank of Queensland takes someone to court, the number of cases where someone takes the bank to court. Reduce sludge in disclosure. There's a lot of meaningless padding in annual reports and documents. Let's work together to minimise that amount. Create a customer committee and perhaps give consideration to including a member from Bank Warriors and Bank Reform Now. Ethically resolve legacy cases. Encourage your members to join the Banking and Finance Oath, and I notice one of the directors, Ms. Trederick, I'm sorry if I've got that wrong, is part of the Ethics Committee, so I thank you there. Abstain from using an auditor elsewhere. There's quite a debate around that at the moment. By all means, use whichever auditor you like, but separate them from the others. And finally, give consideration to directors limiting other roles. As I look through, it looks to me as if some directors have got too many roles to be able to really dig in and dedicate their time to BOQ. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Craig, and thank you for your points. I'm not going to comment on each of those points because I didn't take them as questions, but we certainly take them on notice. And I just wanted to reassure you that we are very focused on ethical and transparent behaviour with our customers, and we have a very strong customer advocacy voice in the business, and we will certainly take your points on notice. So thank you for your comments.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.